Every chapter, problem in the church. And 2 Corinthians, because they even attacked Paul's authority. He wrote to defend his own authority in 2 Corinthians. So if you don't know that context, that was the first urban encounter. You want to enter urban society, you go to Corinth and find Paul in 1st and 2 Corinthians. That could bring a revival to anybody could hear. Come within hearing distance of the Word of God. Well, he was raised and educated in Tarsus, a center of Stoic learning. Now don't forget that. What is a conservative Jew doing studying Stoic and Epicurean philosophy? Would the rabbi have encouraged that? That's liberal. See, we have something that's transitional right before our very eyes. We read past that or preach past that like nothing's going on. Oh, yes, everything's going on. He's going to quote, and we'll see that. He's going to quote from a quatrain, it's a four-liner, of Erectus, a pantheistic poet. Well, what is this Jewish rabbi, Christian convert, doing quoting pantheistic poetry for? Secret round. In case there are any pantheists there. Had some for everybody. No. Well, look, he started out at Corinth, because I'm not going to, you're too bright for me, I wouldn't even attempt to get booze with you. What did he start out saying that he got an audience with this group with? What did he start out saying? Resurrection. Now, this is true. You know that. Take it. It was resurrection. But see, he didn't go the rest of the material. See, the grammatical structure of 17th chapter, I think he talked for hours, but you can read it. You don't have to if you can read it all. And if you need PowerPoint, 2 minutes. But I don't think he just talked 2 minutes and went home. But it was the resurrection. Well, why would he talk about a Christian worldview and he starts with creation if the issue that they asked him about was the resurrection? Because there's no resurrection possible in a pantheistic cyclical world. There was only reincarnationism and loss of individual identity in the cosmic world. That was the first Darth Vader. See, they had a view over that man. God prepares him to be there. Now, Peter was prepared by God's Spirit to be at Jerusalem, and in the context of people believe the Bible, it's easier to deal with people like that. But see, most people in our postmodern world in or out of the church don't want. Don't pay any attention to the Bible. What do people tell you? See, I've been every place. What people tell me in and out of the church, oh, that's just your interpretation. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. Well, I said it might be, but the issue is whether it's correct or not. And then, well, we know what that guy back. He's out, that kid's out. Now, he was in Tarsus, Jew, and he really attracted them. I mean, he wouldn't have gotten an audience if he hadn't tried. Paul quotes, let's just go to the Bible. I think sermons should have something to do with the Bible. So we're in your Bible. You see, at one time I had memorized the Greek text and that Greek text, but I gave that up for Lent. I said, nobody cares about that, so what am I doing all that time? I got too much to do to sit around and memorize the little old chart and the cow chart. Let's just read that and have a little Bible study. Oh, it's not pretty good. Now 16, just to set the stage. If you have to leave, that's all right. Told you don't rock it. Now while Paul was waiting for them, and after who was he waiting for? 2 young men that he trained. See, I don't like the Latin word mentor. We don't disciple people, we mentor them. I don't like mentoring, but I do like disciple. A mathetes is a witness and learner. Not just a learner, a mathetes, a disciple. Every rabbi in the Jewish world had disciples. But Jesus is the only rabbi that had disciples that were not grounded in the teaching of the rabbi, but the person of the rabbi. That's absolutely world-shattering. He said, you tell them about me. No rabbi ever said that. So what seems so simple is not so simple. Well, And his spirit being provoked, he's angry. He needs some anger management. We started class in an unnamed congregation in Lincoln, Illinois on anger management. Now all of a sudden everybody's angry. Now being provoked is some more information, and you don't want to see it. It's present participle. That's a condition in the same. I had enough there. Within, as he was beholding, now that also our central kept looking. The city is full of idols. I say this, the biblical doctrine of absolute creation and the incarnation of that creator God is the only escape from idolatry in our world. Everything else is an idol. Everything that is not God is a what? I've openness, hopefully you're not bamboozled with that. But everything that openness emphasized are exactly what's condemned in the prophets of idolaters. So he was reasoning. That sounds too cerebral to me. He needs to be seeker friendly. He needs to go more friendly. He was reasoning. Now, we've got some Jewish element in that. You know, in the synagogue with the Jews and the God-fearing. These were the renegade Greeks that became Christian. You know. So you got two different cultural groups. They like each other. So they weren't real Jews. No, we don't got no real Jews. He was beholding the city full of everywhere I look. Now the point is, in case you can't stay, the point is they had idols for everything. And then the whole point of the message, an idol to an unknown God, just in case they miss one. Nothing that you don't already know. Just in case we got an idol to an unknown God. Now, you don't need to be told that archaeology's found that still, but that zinged a lot of people that evidence is demanding verdicts, so that you do that. It's much more serious than evidence is demanding verdicts. So there's reasoning in the synagogue with the Jews and the God-fearers, the Gentiles, in the marketplace. Now, why would he go to the marketplace? Why doesn't he announce he's going to have a mega church gathering and going to have a consecration Sunday to bring all the believers to start a new congregation in the city? Where did he go? Where the people went. That's so simple. You're too advanced people. That's what bother you with that. He went where the people, and that's foolish. We build cathedrals and invite them to the cathedral. Where is that? He went where they were. Oh, come to church because you like to preach and the choir is marvelous and you don't have the guitars and cornets and singing Blue Jays. They have all those programs. And you like it. And donuts, fresh donuts, every Sunday after class. My goodness. This is what. Well, I like you people. You're friendly. Well, they're friendly at Alcatraz. The mafia is friendly to the mafia. When you cross them, you wake up in a concrete kimono. See? And we're to the marketplace. Just a thing about what does the witness do? And the fool, he waited until Sunday to do that. Every day. Because people are there. With those who happen to be present. They apparently didn't intentionally be there. And also some of the Epicurean and Stoic philosophers were conversing with him because they knew this was a special person. Conversing with him, see, he'd been talking about the resurrection. And notice, this is not nice. Some were saying, what would this babbler, this, the Greek word means it doesn't make any sense. It is talking. What this babbler wished to say. He tried to, but he doesn't. Others, it seemed, he proclaimed a strange deity because he was preaching Jesus Christ and the resurrection. That's what got him the audience. But the message is about the worldview that alone makes sense out of the resurrection. Because if God can create the highly complex universe, he can raise the dead. But if you lose that foundation, you have a problem believing that. Or you have to, like Postmodern, mental thesis, which doesn't mean demythization, it means remythization. It, auf Deutsch, does not mean de. I don't know why the English translated